and leave them where they should be. Part of this is noticing where it happens in your body. You can notice if your face gets flushed, you're feeling angry, you can analyze that and dissect it and say, is this something that I can be motivated to change? Or is it something I just need to make peace with, tolerate, ride through the wave, and then let it go so that I don't miss the next moment that's coming? And a lot of times we make that mistake saying, I'm just an angry person. I was born this way. Well, fundamentally, I don't believe that. If we study the research, we realize that people aren't coming out of the womb angry. It's incongruous with nature. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't serve any purposes. But if you believe that you are truly, an angry person, I'm not going to try to convince you otherwise in this podcast. But what I would invite you to do is analyze whether or not that anger is motivating you to do stuff or if it's actually just stalling your own personal advancement and growth. Chances are pretty good that it's the latter, not the former. And if it is the latter, maybe at least try to turn it into the former so that you can take that anger. Maybe you can't quit your job. Maybe you're financially strapped and you got to keep working for the terrible boss. Well, go to the gym afterward. Channel that into being the best boxer you can be. Channel it into writing some amazingly angry music. Musicians have dotted the landscape for ages, writing about their angry cognitions or their angry thoughts and making tons of money off of it. Maybe there's a second career in it for you just because you're motivated by this bad boss. There are positive things that can come out of anger. I don't want to take anger away from anybody. I don't want to take sadness away from anybody because they're useful and they're purposeful, but only if they're channeled appropriately. We don't want to stuff this stuff down because eventually it will come out. And as I shared before, we will emote. We can override it for a short period of time, but eventually it'll come out. And we want it to come out in the right way, not the wrong way that causes more pain, destruction, violence upon others, and so forth. And then we get regret and shame and guilt. And I'll get into shame and guilt in a different podcast. But for now, if we can just understand that sadness and anger serve a purpose, and the purpose is to let you know that your expectations were not met in the case of sadness, and it ranges from very small to very large, as do all the emotions. And in the case of anger, its purpose is to motivate. What it motivates you to do, who knows? Often it's to make change, but if it motivates you to become creative or love others harder or donate to charity to right some wrongs or balance the scales of social justice, that's fine. That's an appropriate channeling of anger. What we don't want to do is take our anger and offload it onto others, thus causing more pain and more sadness in the rest of the world. That doesn't help anybody. The world's full of pain. We don't need you adding to it. So take that, use it, harness it, make the most of it, and then you can end up with a very positive outcome at the end. So I really hope this was beneficial for you. If you want to learn more, you can check out zephyrwellness.org. If this triggered something in you and you want to get some personal help, you can check out psychologytoday.com or aamft.org and their therapist locator. It'll find something in your area, and those are great ways to go about it. You can also keep listening to this podcast because, frankly, I think that everything that comes out of my mouth is awesome. Otherwise, I wouldn't be saying it. Humor aside, I do wish you all very well, and I wish you great mental wellness. Tune back in a week, and we'll have more for you. Take care.